My mum has a 900-day streak on Duolingo. She's been studying Spanish for 900 days in a row. 900 days back to back.
Oh my God.
Unfortunately, despite that, she can only use phrases like, my cat lives in England. So Duolingo isn't the answer, but let me show you some different techniques and tips to become fluent in English in 2023. Surely that's your New Year's resolution, right? My New Year's resolution is to become fluent in French. So as a result, I'm eating baguettes, I'm having croissants, I'm drinking French red wine, I'm immersing myself in French culture. But what would I do if I were in your shoes? What would I do if I were you? Well, simple really. If I were you, I would immerse myself in English. I would surround myself in different things related to English. Just like babies do when they learn a language. Their parents are speaking to them all the time, and bit by bit, little by little, step by step, they pick up the language and they start to speak it, making mistakes, of course. So, that being said, let's dive in. Here are my 10 top tips to become fluent in English. Let's go. Listen to the radio or podcasts in English. Read or watch the news. Change the language on your phone to English. Write a diary or a journal in English. Take conversation classes. Join a conversation exchange or look for a conversation partner. Watch films and series in English. Follow pages or groups on social media in English. This could be news, celebrities, or teachers. Read out loud and speak to yourself. I know it sounds crazy, but it really helps to practice. And finally, take notes of new vocabulary and put it in flashcards, so you're constantly reviewing and repeating the vocabulary. Practice makes perfect. So there you have 10 top tips, but bear in mind, take into account that it is a marathon, not a sprint. Remember, be consistent, be constant. Every day do something, even if it's easy, even if you don't feel like it. You can watch a YouTube video. Over time, all of these things will start to become natural. You will get used to doing these things, and they will become second nature. They will become natural for you. And make the most of your dead time. But what do I mean by dead time? For example, when you're cooking, listen to a podcast. When you're driving, listen to the news. When you are, I don't know, on the toilet, watch a video. Oh, get out of here! That way you can kill two birds with one stone. You can do two things at the same time. Of course, all of these things, they add up, they accumulate, and they help. But usually, somebody asks you, do you speak English? Speak. So the emphasis has to be on speaking. I mentioned previously, you can speak to yourself, but there are other ways to practice your speaking. Let's dive in. Woo! When you are reading an article or a book, read it out loud. And better yet, if you have an audiobook and a book, then you can listen, you can read, and you can repeat, again, out loud. And whenever you're thinking and you're doing things, ask yourself, what am I doing? And then say it out loud. Describe what you are doing. Another useful tip is to record voice messages. Whenever you're speaking to a friend, instead of texting them, you can send them a voice message. This will put you to the test and practice more speaking. I mentioned language exchanges and language partners earlier. Use these websites to find your perfect language exchange. The idea with this is that you will speak for half of the time in your language and the other half of the time in English, the language you want to learn. That way, you are both learning. And again, you are killing two birds with one stone. Or better yet, find a teacher. And then you can speak 100% English during that time, and your teacher will surely correct you and give you some new words and phrases that you can put into practice. Or even better than that, some English friends, or maybe, just maybe, an English boyfriend or girlfriend or husband or wife. Woo! Now, I did start this video criticizing Duolingo, so it's not the worst thing, and there are some applications which are useful, but I think at this point, if you can understand me, you don't really need a language learning app. Why is that? These apps can be fantastic if you are a beginner, pre-intermediate, intermediate, or if you just want to go over the basics. But from that point, I think you need to be immersing yourself in English. So download BBC News application or another news provider and try to read the news on a regular basis. Follow Instagram accounts to practice your English. YouTube channels related to something that you are interested in. If you like football, then you should follow football-related YouTube channels. That way you are practicing authentic English. As a general rule, whatever you would normally be doing in your mother tongue, in your native language, try to switch it to English. As I said, if you like reading the news in Spanish, read the news in English. If you want to stay up to date with football news in Spanish, do it in English. Despite all that, there are 3 apps that I would like to recommend for different reasons. The first one is Lingo Clip, previously called Lyrics Training. And the idea is that you pick a song and you fill in the gaps of different lyrics. That way it's fun, you learn about different music, and at the same time, you're going to pick up some new vocabulary. Next up is Lingo Pi. It is an application and a website where you can watch series, documentaries, and films in English with subtitles in English and in your language. And then you can save difficult words and phrases and then review them later. Great results. Now, third and finally, we have Quizlet or Anki app. Both of them are applications you can use to create flashcards. That way, whenever you learn new phrases, new words, you can put them in the app and then repeat, practice, and review whenever you fancy, whenever you feel like it. Hopefully, fingers crossed, now you are feeling motivated, confident, and ready to become fluent in English in 2023. If you have any other tips or advice, please drop them in the comments. And before you leave, do not forget to like this video, comment, and subscribe, of course. Now, how about a bad joke to wrap it up, to finish this video? Ready? What do you call an alligator in a vest? Let me repeat. What do you call an alligator in a vest? An investigator. Don't forget to subscribe.